Welcome back again. Alright, we're going to work through 6.3 day 2. This was your homework from yesterday, so don't worry about it. Alright, so your warm-up is, what are the 4 different words you can use to describe a graph? Look at your notes from yesterday. Okay, we used 4 words to describe those last 4 graphs in our thing, okay? Now today is kind of some abstract thinking. We're graphing, but not a very specific graph, okay? Just some possibilities. So my first example is, Lindsay wants to buy some apples from his fruit stand, okay? Each apple costs the same amount, so maybe it's $1, maybe it's $2, $3, but the apples are the same amount every time. The total amount of money she pays, Y dollars, is a function of the number of apples she buys. So as soon as I know that it's a function, this is some sort of linear equation, okay? So it's a straight line. So it says here, I'm going to kind of let you ignore my page here, my notes to myself. Give the least possible input value that makes sense for the function. Decide if the function is increasing or decreasing, if it's linear or nonlinear. So the least possible input, remember the input is what we're putting into the equation. And in this case, what's changing is the number of apples I'm buying, right? So the input is my number of apples, right? So what's the smallest number of apples that I can have? And that would be 0, right? I can buy 0 apples. I can't buy a negative amount of apples, so that doesn't make sense. So if I have 0 apples, it's going to cost me how much money? $0, right? And again, because the apples cost the same amount every time, it's going to be a linear function, okay? And it's going to increase, right? Because the more apples I buy, the more it's going to cost me. So now we're going to use that information for part B. It says sketch the graph of the function. Sketching means just a rough sketch, okay? Note we're not given the actual price of the apples, okay? So I can't put specific points on here, right? So I just drew my little graph here. This is the number of apples on this side, and this is the price paid. So my dollars here, right? I wrote it in pencil earlier so I could remind myself. So I know at 0, 0, I have some sort of point, right? And I know it's a linear equation, so it's going to be some sort of line, and it's increasing. So it's going to go up and up and up and up and up. I don't know the perfect slope, but this is a general idea of what the sketch will look like, right? So again, nothing super fancy, just a rough sketch of what's going on, okay? All right, let's read the next one.